Masquerade say Mure Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel Zen Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kakaki kutanka kuyapa neno channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Kama jingwa garo ka subscriber, don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasi Mure Zimbabwe tabigira inyaya ya Aburitsa one of Mapo Chamisa supporters Abuda achitaura about my citizens coalition for change politician avo vakaita a deal na Zanu PF kuti vakwanike vachibisa Honai Chamisa pachigaro tara iwo vachiti those guys hapana vatofa political career yavo yatofa zvinzi ma citizens akaita a contract na Honai Chamisa mu Zimbabwe zvinzi ma Zimbabweans they know what they want Honai Chamisa akabuda zvinzi vese vaipretend as if my independent candidate vana kuvhotera vanoda kuti Chamisa haana kunge ava endosa zvakaratidza kuti Chamisa ane social contract nema citizens mu Zimbabwe abuda zvakare achiexposa hanzi the operation morning after yakaitwa naSengezo Shabangu pamwe chete nanatendai biti nanaWashman Ncube with Zanu PF mu Zimbabwe singade kuwesta nguva yenyu tikati munzwe audio imobva mati zvamuri kufunga pamusoro penyaya iyi mu comment section.
Good morning, citizens. What I'm going to say here are my own words. Zanichataura panapa mashoko angu. It got nothing to do with any political party's official position. And I'm not going to speak as a member of any political party. And actually, I don't have a political party that I currently belong to. So these are my own words. And they are not official positions of anyone, but my own opinion and my own analysis regarding the opposition political parties' positions as I view it. It is very important to note that Zimbabwean citizens are not confused about what they want and what they expect politically. Vanhu vezimbabwe havana kupusa ende vanoziva zvavanoda ende vari kuziva zvavari kutarisira. And Zimbabweans are very consistent and focused when it comes to their choice of leadership. You find it maZimbabwean kana vakati vari kumira nemunhu uyu ndiwo vari kumira naye regardless of zvamuchazotaura imi. Mazano akati anomira naMnangagwa anomira naye nango mukaita sei vanenge vamira naMnangagwa. It is the same opposition. If the Zimbabwean citizens decide that we are going to back this guy to be our leader, it will be a waste of time. It will be a waste of time. So, on that background, I wish to state that Zimbabweans have a social contract and a mutual agreement that they want Honai Chamisa to lead. MaZimbabwean, vanechibvumirano nechisungo chavari nacho nyange chisingataurwi kuti vari kuda kuti Honai Chamisa atungamire. The most common phrase in Zimbabwe at the moment inonzi ngaapinde hake mukomana. Even a small kid will tell you ngaapinde hake mukomana. Chamisa chete. Chamisa ngaapinde. Chamisa is the most popular political figure in Zimbabwe at the moment. So let us not be confused, IPAP. Chamisa anodiwa around. I know my MPs, my councillors, they are going to differ with what I'm saying. You are going to oppose what I'm saying. But I'm going to tell you now. Kuti mukavenga Chamisa, mukapandukira Chamisa, mapandukira maZimbabwean citizens. MaZimbabwean citizens, they are not confused in that regard. Vanoda mukomana. So let that sink in everyone's head. Kuti Chamisa ane social contract nima citizen. It is important to note a pattern in Zimbabwe. Kuti when you fail to convince them, they will teach you at the ballot. Nyango Zanu ichizobirira fa. Monzo rakazizama and he portrayed Chamisa as a dictator and is very undemocratic and munhu asingateereri. Akazizama kati Chamisa is a sellout, anosenza neZanu. Takambozviona. Kupi akazizama futi And so it is important to note that Monzora and Kupe, they usurped the people's movement with the help of Zanu PF, ZRP, and the judiciary system, and portrayed Chamisa as a dictator and very undemocratic. But the Zimbabwean remained focused. ZBC, Herald, Zanu PF, ZRP, Monzora, Kupe, they all worked very hard to demonize and characterize Chamisa in a bad light. The state machinery, including Marakashi, they unleashed relentless negative propaganda to cast him in the bad light, but the Zimbabweans remained focused. I want to speak in strongly so that you can hear me. So I'm trying my best to slow down. So vakaita zvese vakaenda kumakoti vakatora mapurisa vakaunganidzana the opposition, the disgruntled one, vana Obed Gutu, vana Linda Masarira vese vakati let us ngachironge chikongoro mukomana anyure, asi mukomana haana kunyura. 22 January 2022, Chamisa announced the People's Movement and a new trajectory aimed at confusing Zanu PF with strategic ambiguity and the structureless method. Chakazoita CCC strategies ditadza kufamba. It's because of the half-hearted approach by Tendai Biti, Watchman Mube, and their camp. It was clear from the onset that these two were hell-bent against the CCC setup and the new strategy. The reality is that they never accepted Nelson Chamisa as a leader. You need to understand that you are coming from the background whereby Tendai Biti, he came with his political party called PDP. Arine vanhu vake vana Mafume, vana Shona, arine vanhu vake vana Chabangu. They all wanted political position to be in the leadership. Then with Watchman Mubaganga Alliance, Arne MDC Green Yaki, Arne Van Vakana, Abed Nico Baby, Vana Gebuza. They also wanted a slice. So by creating Triple C, it literally means that the powers of PDP and MDC Green were diluted on the background that Nelson Chamisa came with this faction of MDCT people who we called Macobra, and then they were more popular than these guys. So going to primary election against Macobra spelled doom for PDP and MDC Green. So they had no choice but to rebel, and immediately they started plotting Yavanti the morning after strategy. Vachiisa Chabangu is their host. And Chabangu became an unofficial signatory for my primary election, but it was already a ball in the play, and they decided to bring Thokozani Kupe through tribal card and regional politics so that they usurp the masses soon after the vote. That's why Mchona Tabita Kumalaga Bavarwa Panze, because of the return of Thokozani Kupe. And despite the fact that Mama TK is sick, she's not feeling well, so she really did not want to fight and waste her energy because so 26 March by-election 2022, the citizens taught Monzora Zanu PF hard life lessons. And they dispelled the myth that by-election, despite the attempt by Zanu PF to stop the party, the CCC won the 26 March by-election with the majority. So what is happening to the current by-election? What is happening now is because the endorsement of Nelson Chamisa, all these guys that are parading themselves as independent candidates, they do not have the endorsement of Nelson Chamisa. That's why they lost dismally. That's why Zanu PF is able to do whatever they want because they know that Apana Makwaya Snamfuza. So the recent by-election and the attempted independent candidature without Chamisa's endorsement is exposing the fact that the citizens have social contract with Nelson Chamisa and they are not going to make a move until he does. My citizens ask Budikira, Chamisa Budikira. You know? Internal trials. CCC right now is suffering from internal renewal problem, in which bitterness, betrayal, and entitlement has taken root. We have leaders who feel that they are entitled to be in leadership regardless of the wishes of the masses. And we have leaders who feel that they are owed an allegiance and a reward by Nelson Chamisa. We have people who feel that they took a fall for Nelson Chamisa at one point, and they had political dealings with Nelson Chamisa at one point, so they feel that they deserve his protection, and they deserve to be automatically elected to the parliament. These people, they feel that Nelson Chamisa is too junior to be their leader. They feel that Nelson Chamisa should toe their line because they propped him up and they helped they put him up. They do not respect the fact that he is now the president, owing to his age and to the fact that so these people are not going to respect Nelson Chamisa, so they rebelled against them. The very same people were holding Nelson Chamisa at ransom because of entitlement. And some of them, they felt that he must pay. And it became a contest of self-aggrandizement, reward. And the citizens in the struggle were confined to the background. So take for instance, Chamisa opposed the USD 40,000 loan in 2022. There is no basis for taking this loan because you are only here for 6 months. But my MP and they took the $40,000 loan. So you take $40,000 loan and you only got 6 months to go in parliament. How are you planning to repay that money? It means that you want to come back, and you will come back no matter what it takes, even if through undemocratic means you have to come back so that you can repay and service your loan. Because we know, so these guys, they were going to push to come back through whatever means possible because they were no jobs in Zimbabwe. That's why I got my 40,000 loan, and they have to come back, regardless of my citizens had to leave. And Chamisa aga oppose, but then let's go to soon after my election. What is not in the public domain is that Chamisa about that is going to parliament. My MP, you are not an elected candidate. It's just a voter one. We are 103. Takawanda, we are going to parliament. But we cannot surrender the arena of democracy, where we fight for democracy. So parliament, and they went there, despite Chamisa's attempt to say, let us resolve this thing. We reject the elections in entirety and confront the regime through SADC, especially Patabuda SADC report up. But they refused to listen to him in the parliament. Then Chabangu happened. Morning after, operation morning after was now in full swing because Tendai Bitanga Aripanze and his PDP cabal. And Wolfman Mube Anga Aripanze, because Chamisa has lost the election, is not the president. Not that he lost the election, but in quotation, he lost in quotation. He did not actually lose the election. We know what ZANU-PF did on the 23rd of August. So, wakomana wabiti na ngumbe waona kutisisipa na papasina chelu. PDP party that atofa MDC green atofa tisina marie parliament ya chawana goes va no apinda wakajinja va they were Chamisa. They rolled in the morning after plan yanga wakaplota mna 2022 na nasengenzo chabangu abed niko bebe gebuza shone Jacob Mafume. They were all part of that machination that they played in the background. And they decided to launch that operation against the citizens' vote. And you shook the citizens' votes using a tortoise on a lamppost called Sengenzo Chabangu, who was working with the military intelligence through Kalipan Pugen, who happened to be a military intelligence, and then they were given the support of the judiciary and the ZRP, and were bankrolled by Scott Sakupuganya, the gold mafia, and his friend Mike Mombe and Cheki Timburwa, who are now in the parliament through this atrocity and the usurpation of the vote of the citizens. It was Tendaibiti, Mube, and their cabal who launched the operation morning after against the citizens project. So Musafa Magas when you appear on the Chamisa Gatiza, Agatiza and Brazan. Then we have Chabangu recalling these MPs. Vanganga in the parliament. And then Chamisa told them, well, let us disengage from the parliament and take this thing further. Vakaramba ku disengage. Takatona mangwana vamwacho todzukira vakutotora ma-parliamentary portfolio committee position, but they were told to disengage. The very following day, they were in the parliament. Vachitora ma-parliamentary position. Garam committee. Vanhu vakaramba kudwa na president musaenda parliament. But they went back. And then the very same people, Chabangu realized that if I let these people come back, and Chamisa is still there, they will win the by-election. Then he went to court to block them out. Because I told you, election, endorsement, their Chamisa, they will come back. So what is the best plan? Take them to court, to the captured judiciary, and block them out. So you took them to court and you blocked them out through the captured judiciary. So what it simply means is that the ultimate Zanu-PF problem is Chamisa. And then you hear someone within the opposition circle telling you that Chamisa agatengesa. Here Chamisa is the ultimate problem of Zanu-PF. And Chamisa got social contract nema Zimbabwe. Kanada kutuona kutu unopira ugonyana se shisha as a politician go against Nelson Chamisa, even though he's resting arakumbaka zinyararira. We still have Makuridos ringing with his name, people fighting him when he's not fighting them, and they are shouting at top of their voices, calling Chamisa's name, but they seem to forget that the people of Zimbabwe have the social contract with Nelson Chamisa. And when Nelson Chamisa decides that he's going to take forward this fight for democracy, they will follow him and you'll be left exposed. So right now, all that they are doing is exposing themselves. And we now know them. So Chamisa removed himself from the scene because of this relentless attack on his person. So now when the people go to by-election without endorsement, you're wasting your time. You're not going to win. Because Zimbabweans have a social contract with Nelson Chamisa and they will not vote us now. Right now we have a big problem in the opposition circles. As long as Chamisa has Nakutaura, any claim good na president na Chamisa Zagat is a waste of time. Zimbabwe na ask kutenga sinzaka pusa kudara. This Chabangu guy was a member of PDP, of Tendaibitis PDP. And this Chabangu guy, he worked at the law firm of Wolfman Ngube as a messenger. The guy is not that brilliant as he's being portrayed to be. He's just an opportunist who was given legal arsenal by Tendaibiti, Wolfman Ngube, Jacob Mafume, Shone, and the Zimbabwean judiciary to usurp the right of the citizens by taking away the electorate vote and giving it to ZANU-PF to ensure a two-thirds majority in parliament, so that they render Nelson Chamisa ineffective and they render the struggle for democracy ineffective, and they used Sengenzo Chabangu. So Sengenzo Chabangu is now an operative of ZANU-PF and is a production of Wolfman Ngube and is a member of Tendaibitis PDP. Tendaibiti has been in parliament since 2002. We know that he was a very good and effective political party leader and he tackled serious economic issues. But the guy is so bitter and power hungry that he forgot his moral compass and he lost his principles on the back of losing a primary election. Forgetting that, he retained people's respect and he retained effective control in the economy, and he could have carried on by other means, and he was still going to come back, but he decided to rebel after losing a primary election. We have people like Wolfman Ngube. We know Wolfman Ngube did not start selling out today. Akatanga utenga samana 2005 when he was power hungry and greed for money in the Senate because he wanted money in the Senate and he sold out. He came back as a deputy prime minister. We know, that guy is a mercenary. He's a mercenary. That guy is after money. And he wants influence and power at all costs without merit. So they had to bring down Mkomana because they felt he's too junior. Murisi is why now he's talking things because already he was inside the morning after plan and they pretended to be supporting President Nelson Chamisa. The same way we saw Jacob Mafume, Carton Mateu, Chengetai Murora, Hebed Gomba, all rebelling against Nelson Chamisa in broad daylight. And the same people who come back and say, trust us for the struggle for democracy. I want to tell you, nobody trusts a snitch. No one trusts a snitch. If you sell out, people never trust you. No matter how you clock yourself and say, Chamisa Kadakwa, people do not trust a snitch. So some of these problems were supposed to have been solved internally. But some people decide to take those issues out into the public domain and sold out to Zanu PF and took money from Zanu PF to usurp the struggle. And then Nelson Chamisa decided to remove himself from the scene. So we know this. And one thing that I know for sure is the citizens of Zimbabwe, they want Nelson Chamisa and they are waiting for Nelson Chamisa and they will wait for Nelson Chamisa and they will rally back behind Nelson Chamisa. So anyone who really think that they've got political mileage to command respect of Zimbabwean people, to challenge the ZANU-PF establishment is daydreaming, because it's the people that give you the mandate to lead. It is not you. And the other problem is that all these people, they've got their personal vendettas against Nelson Chamisa. It is not about Nelson Chamisa. It is not about the citizens. It is about themselves. They want to eat. Stomach politicians. They want to eat. So as long as they feel that they are shut out, they decide to rebel. So what it means, simply means that these people, they do not care about the citizen. They do not care about democracy. They care about themselves. They want to eat. So we have a stomach, a politics of eathood, ahead of politics of servanthood. We have people who want to become political masters instead of serving the nation. We have people who want to become bosses to the citizens who actually pay tax in order to pay them. We have politicians who do not understand that the citizens are their bosses and they serve the citizen. They are void of principle and moral compass. They do not accept that you go into politics to serve and not to eat. Most of them, they want to go into politics to eat. We do not have politicians with the spirit of servanthood. We have politicians who are job seekers, who are looking for work, because in Zimbabwe, so the citizens of Zimbabwe, we need to unite. We need to rally ourselves and mobilize within our communities and come up with our own leaders and punish these charlatans. We need to be politically educated and politically alert. and not be fooled by people who are after serving their own stomach and do not care about the ordinary citizen of Zimbabwe. The ordinary citizen of Zimbabwe want to address bread and butter issues, jobs, accommodations, something to wear, shelter. But we have citizens who go to parliament, when they get their GT6, they forget about you. When they get their loan, they don't care about you. They will only come back when they need more. Politics of eathood ahead of politics of servanthood. It's time to punish Madinga